Live from Hookah University, it's the Beer Garden. With your hosts, David Harris and Jeremy Byrd. Featuring tobacco brands like Azure, Alpha Kama, Tangiers, Zoo Merit, and more. You know him from the AM Hookah podcast. Special guest Adrian Hunter. Your producer, Chris Fernandez. This is the Beer Garden.
If anybody has any questions, just drop them into the chat real quick. We can answer them at some point in time during the show, as long as they're reasonable. I have to say that as of lately, which is sad. But I'm enjoying some hookah out of this nice Spire, model number uno, or the Ohm. Stone bowls. I'm smoking Azure Cactus Blast, Mig Razor, 3 Superior Reds, beautiful Mason base I'm not going to pick up. And, we're just going to get this thing a-rolling. I got that Cactus Blast. And, of course, I kind of have a beer in my hand, right? I think everybody has a beer. So cheers, boys. Today I am drinking Founders, okay? Founders Brewing Company. Adrian, can you tell me where Founders is?
Are they from Michigan?
Yes, they are from
Michigan. They're from Michigan. We make a lot of beer over here.
So I picked it specifically because, Adrian, you're from Michigan. We got you on there. This is Mas Agave. This is an Imperial Lime Ghost style ale. It doesn't really drink like a ghost. But when I mean it says it doesn't drink like a ghost, it's not really sour. And then it's brewed with agave and aged in tequila barrels. So you're going to get that tequila hit. And it's going to be like, wham, right there in the face. It's about 10 ABV. So it's kind of, I guess it would be on the upper echelon of alcohol content. And then we have the Cactus Blast in the bowl, which is a pineapple citrus mix, which is an awesome, awesome, awesome pairing. And when I say awesome, I can only say it twice. Otherwise, Bracken told me I can no longer use it, and it doesn't mean anything. So what I'm going to tell you is that it's front on the palate. It's very, very juicy. And when I mean by front on the palate, like on the front of your tongue, it feels juicy. And it has that tequila note to it. So when you're taking a shot of tequila with lime, that is a very, very delicious flavor. And I don't want to say awesome again, so I'm going to say awesome twice more. So I'm going to go over to David, and he'll tell you what he's drinking, and we can kind of go into beer a little bit more here later on in the show and talk about kind of barrel aging. And I'm sure David and Adrian have stuff they like to talk about too when it comes to hookah and drinking beer or smoking beer or drinking hookah. So I'll give that over to David.
All right. So I'm actually going to be smoking another Stillwater beer, right? Something I didn't quite expect when I purchased it just because there's a lot of options. I'm smoking ASMR Friesen, and it's 001. It's going to be a blueberry, honey oat, as well as milk sugar gose. So with what you're looking for with a gose, traditionally, more than just the sour notes, is going to be there's a salt content to that beer. It actually makes it a lot more enjoyable because what you're going to have is those contrast ratios that we've talked about in the past, right? With a lot of fruit coming forward. Now, what I did to pair with it is I've said in the past I'm going to be more of a savory smoker. So what I did in this bowl, I'm smoking Dark Side Supernova, Dark Side Basil Blast, and then a little bit of Grow a Pear in there to kind of add just that hint of sweetness to compare against those other two flavors. Right now, I'm actually smoking out of, I'm actually calling it the Spire Twirl. It's going to be something for now I'm still testing. But it is out of our new Glacial Blue, as Icicle Blue. You guys kind of pick which one name you want to go with, and it's been ripping. I like it.
Yeah, most definitely. How does that sour and salty note pair with the basil? Because it's something I wouldn't typically expect.
Oh, it's good. I mean, one of the cool contexts that you always see is that you always want to have either a fat, a salt, or an acid that kind of cuts through your palate. So the salt content actually does really well in this beer. As we know, I'm a pretty much a sour drinker as it goes, and this is definitely probably going to go on my top 5 list right now for what I've had in the last year at least.
Well, I don't want to forget about the man, the myth, the legend, the Adrian Hunter, the pipe dream the man from the AM Hookah podcast, the A in the AM Hookah podcast. So I kick this over to Adrian. Adrian, what are you smoking? What are you drinking? How are you doing?
Well, first, thanks for having me on. This is super exciting. Last time I got drunk in front of people, it was much less civil, so this is exciting, hanging out with you guys. Today, I'll talk about what I'm smoking first, because I'm not as knowledgeable on beer, and I don't even know what the ABV on my beers or anything, so let's talk about it a little bit. Setup is a white net pear. This isn't what I usually smoke out of, because I'm lame. I got a Mason Onyx on top, Midnight Opal. Lotus, and it's covering 3 flavors. It's going to be Trifecta Peppermint Shake, Rar Lemon Meringue, and then the Eternal Smoke flavor, Dulce Banana. And stock setup, Lux base. The beer. This is from Shorts. It's another company from here, which is great. And this is called S'more Stout. Now, I don't know any of the technical things about this beer. All I know is I was like, I'm going to smoke something really sweet, so I'm going to drink something that's sweet, but also a stout. And it tastes really good. Definitely s'mores.
Does it taste awesome, though, Adrian?
Cloud content leaves a little bit to be desired, but the flavor is outstanding. It's a stout. It's pretty dark, but the s'mores flavor, it's super sweet and kind of bitter like stouts can be, but sweet on the tip of your tongue. And I don't know, I'm kind of in a candy mood, so the sweetness of this beer is going really well with the super sweetness of the peppermint milkshake, lemon meringue, and the banana dulce. So I'm into it.
Most definitely. And I think that you don't have to know the great things about these beers to make an awesome pairing. You have to take one flavor and mix it with another. It's like making a plate of food. I mean, maybe some days you want tacos and fries, but tacos with beans and rice is just as savory.
Facts. Although I
Fair
do
point.
your tacos and fries, because they got those nacho fries at Taco Bell right now.
Fire fries.
That's right.
Is that even real tacos, though?
No, absolutely not.
It's in Michigan. It's as real as it gets.
I'm pretty sure our Mexican restaurants order our food from Taco Bell.
So it looks like Michael Martinez is drinking a local beer from his Brooklyn brewery. If you would just put what you're drinking in chat, I would appreciate it. We can talk about it a little bit. The point of the beer garden is, it doesn't have to be complicated, guys. Let's not overcomplicate it. So if you're drinking a citrusy beer, smoke some citrusy hookah. If you're drinking a savory, like a cream note, smoke something like maybe a banana or a mint. It doesn't have to be complicated. The amount of beers is growing nationwide at an unmanageable pace. And it's something
I got something else that's growing.
That mustache.
Okay, calm down with that caterpillar on your lip, okay?
Hey, guys, you know what I think we should do? We should use this week's beer garden to name his mustache. What do you guys think? I'd like you guys just to drop down in their chat, what we should name his mustache. That would be great. I was going to say awesome, but I figured that I couldn't say awesome again.
I like the word fantastic for this one. And just super over enunciate it. Like fantastic.
Or terrific works as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of words is the thing about English.
We'll make sure Bracken approves all of these, don't worry.
So with my brew, they take a beer that they brew with agave, and then they put it in these tequila barrels. And why do they put it in tequila barrels? For me and what I know about barrel aging beers is that it pulls some of those notes. It also is pulling some of that tequila out of those barrels and increasing the ABV content. Of course, you're going to have sugars and the fermentation that also happens and continues to happen in that barrel. So you'll see that ABV start to climb. Founders has been around, for quite some time. Something well over 10 years, I do believe. And agave is, what is used to make fucking tequila. So, why not brew a beer that's going to be aged in tequila barrels with agave so you can get some of that, really nice flavors. They also brew it with lime. There's the technical aspect, some technical aspect, but not really a technical aspect. It's just common sense. David,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna kick it back over to you for a little bit.
All right. So, I mean, I'm the sour guy, apparently. Whether it not be my personality, we'll find out. I kind of say that the mindset of a sour is that, yes, it's going to be sour, but it's not sour because it's been designed for that. A lot of popular gozes you see they add a high amount of salt content, which I mentioned earlier, purely because salt is something that your palate, whether or not you know it, 99% of what you actually eat or even drink tends to have some kind of a salt content to it. Now, when you're eating or smoking in general, you normally don't really get that, or more so on the smoking side, you don't get a salt content that comes through. So something I always strive for is kind of go for the thing. If I'm drinking wine, I pair it with a fat because you have the acid tone. If I'm drinking beer, I like to have salt. I mean, it's why you have wings and fries when you're going to be pairing them, right? Going further to that, I mean, it's kind of the thing of I just really enjoy something that's going to be a little bit more tart on the palate. So, I mean, it's a good little transition between each flavor. Overall, I'd say it was a good pick. Now, Adrian, you're drinking, it's a s'more stout, correct?
Yeah, it's like, so I don't know exactly what makes a stout a stout. I just know when I drink a stout, it's got like this dark tone to it that I really enjoy. And then the s'mores pairs with it exactly like you would think. You know how sometimes Tangiers is a good way to do this. You know how no matter what Tangiers flavor you get, it's got that Tangiers tone to it?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that with this beer. It's got that dark element, which kind of lends itself to a creaminess with the s'mores flavor, which really coming out as like a mocha, kind of a chocolate flavor. There's no real marshmallow to speak of that I could, like, my palate's not tuned to beer. But, yeah, can I say it's awesome? Is that allowed? I haven't used that word yet.
Mm-hmm.
We have one more time, though.
Okay, it's terrific.
Ooh.
Now, I know we got some viewers. I'm sorry, Jeremy. Shout out to everyone that joined. I know we have Bob dropping in now. We have Kurt, Wayne, Paul. I saw Vahi dropping in. Vahi, for the record, I met your cousin at a local lounge here, Elder. He is an awesome kid. Definitely happy to see your bloodline is going strong. But Jeremy, sorry for the interruption. Back to you.
So typically with stouts, they're brewed heavier with malts than they are with hops, and that's what creates the dark flavor. Now, an imperial or an imperial stout is one that is aged typically in, like, say, a bourbon barrel. So you think bourbon, you got the chocolate malty hops, given that funkiness to it. And a lot of times when you're drinking a stout, it's going to come out almost graham crackery.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to taste a lot of that, sweet graham crackery crust almost.
There's a cool little fact about stouts as well that when you kind of learn about beer a little bit more is that stouts originally were porters. Technically, if you look into the idea of what a stout is, it's just considered, it's like, I think the proper term is superior stout porter. And a stout originally was defined as just a very aggressive porter. When you see stuff that's kind of like, Guinness, or even slipping the tongue on for some nicer, richer, creamier stouts, the name itself is derived from a different brewing style of what came around from porters. So normally, if you're going to be going for a porter and that's not quite hitting the palate, going slightly darker to a stout, you're going to get that malt characteristic coming out.
So, Adrian, I know you got that Eternal Smoke, and everybody's been asking questions about Eternal Smoke. So, I personally, I love it. I find the cloud density, really, really great. Let's get to the hookah component a little bit, guys. Let's dive in. What do you think about, like, the longevity and the cloud output, and just some general overview, thoughts, I guess.
Is it cool if I take like a minute and a half just to like break down my impressions of Eternal Smoke?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when Jeremy was introducing me, he almost introduced me as from Pipe Dream Hookah, which is true, but and Hookah's cooler and Matt's there, so we try to plug that. They gave me one plug, and I accidentally gave a second one, so I'm sure I'll be paying for that later. But I do reviews and stuff, which means I play with a lot of tobacco, and I pretend to know what I'm talking about. With the Eternal Smoke, I've noticed a few things. And Jeremy, I imagine you've had some. Has anyone else in here had Eternal Smoke?
I have.
I have yet to. I need to
Okay.
try it.
Yeah.
A few things I've noticed. The color is very reminiscent of Azure, and the cut is very reminiscent of Trifecta. It's pretty finely chopped. There isn't the inclusion of a whole ton of stems, not at least in the batches I've had. It's pretty golden color. And it's got that thing, this happens to me sometimes when I smell it. I won't cough when I smoke it, but when I smell it, I will cough immediately. I don't know what causes that, but certain brands do that to me. As far as like longevity goes, this hangs in there with like Trifecta and Azure for me. In a bowl like this, an hour and a half is all I'm going to get, but I could go bigger. It seems weird to say that like a mini rook is bigger than a Mason Onyx, but if you see a Mason Onyx packed, you'll understand that there's more capacity in a mini rook. Maybe 2 hours if you want to push it, but with these blonde flavors, I think there's a point where like the flavor dips down even though you're getting clouds, so I keep it at an hour and a half. But it lasts as long as I want it to, and if I had to get into specific flavors, which I've only had 2 of, and I haven't smoked them quite enough to like review it, but the Dulce Banana is an incredible banana flavor. It lends itself to the artificial side of banana, but it also comes with this like cream note. It's almost like a banana pudding, and it's very incredible. And that artificial banana that it has in it isn't quite runts. It's somewhere between like runts and banana bread, I guess is where I would put it. It's
So
quite,
on that scale, are we talking like Runts banana bread and like Laffy Taffy being the extreme of a candied banana?
yeah, basically.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, baby. Adrian, I had a question for you, right? I got a question.
Okay.
Would you say that there's any wood in this tobacco? Is there any wood?
wood?
Is there wood? Is no wood? No
I don't
wood.
think there's wood. There's no wood in this.
There's no wood. All right, cool. Is that oh yeah. I got it. You got any branches in this tobacco?
Oh, branches.
You got any
No
branches?
branches in this brand.
Oh, okay,
None
no
of the brands I'm
branches,
smoking
no
have
branches.
massive
What,
branches.
okay, the real popular one. Got any twigs, baby? Got any twigs?
No twig. Well, I don't think so.
All right, fantastic. I'm good. It sounds good to me.
The Shaka? I think that's Shaka.
Just for a second, I want to talk about stems. Okay, stems in tobacco sometimes are considered a bad thing, and I can see that if you get nothing but stems. But when you're growing the tobacco plant, the stem and what I would call the veins of the leaf, okay, they dry out, they become hard. And typically those veins of that leaf hold a higher nicotine content. And thus the reason why the older ugly, okay, hooked on hookah, have a higher buzz content than your typical blonde leaf. You know, you can attribute this back to one of what I would consider Adrian's favorite brands. From knowing Adrian for a little bit, he knows a lot about Nakla, okay? So
I thought Dr. Noob Sauce was his favorite brand. No.
You're not wrong.
yeah.
Wait, is that who that is?
Yeah.
Cut the stream. We're telling too much information.
We can't just like kill our producer off. Wait a minute. Yeah, we can't do that. But you know, higher nicotine content, so you're gonna get a bigger buzz. Like say from Trifecta Blonde, you're not gonna get that big of a buzz, or Alf Bacher. But then what you're gonna see is you're gonna see brands like Nakla, Hooked on Hookah, or you know those style of brands, the old ugly for chance, which was really good in my opinion.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
It had that killer buzz to it, which was pretty awesome coming from
Nakla in general is one of those brands that I still go to. I still have probably nearly a kilo of it sitting in just above my fridge right now. It's the thing to it is stem content really isn't bad. We for a lot of the modern shishas, let's aim it that way. Stems are kind of given this negative derivative where people are like, oh, it's an inconsistency. But a lot of the times you can work around it if you find it that way. There hasn't been a brand I've tried in probably the last year where it's been like, oh, this is all stems, I have to chop it. It's never been like that. And even with Nakla, I mean, they might be known for giving you a full leaf for that, you know, is 35 grams and doesn't fit in your bowl, but you can still smoke it at the end of the day.
I think it's a confirmation bias thing. A lot of the big American brands tend to not have as many stems, and then a lot of the more laid-back smokers who aren't like crazy and like picking through their shisha looking for everything, trying to find out all the information about it, because that's mostly a waste of time. You know, most of these brands don't have stems, so then people immediately go, why does this brand have stems? Everyone sees that and goes, yeah, why does that brand have stems? Because most people, I don't think, still smoke Nakla. I think Nakla makes one of the most knockout double apples you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
They also make the best watermelon on the freaking market.
Yeah, and you can overpack that stuff because it's durable. Like I think it has something to do with the stems. We're getting into bro science territory.
Okay, so let's bro science a little more.
Okay.
What about grape? Grape, baby, grape.
No.
All right, calm down with your
calm
ketchup
down
loving ass, okay?
All right, calm down, Mr.
Grape,
Ketchup.
yeah, grape. Smoke it all day.
So
Well, we
when
know
you're
it's in
talking
Christmas
about a tobacco plant made for cigars, you're saying, let's go with a Nicaraguan brand, which is Tabacnik what is it? Tabac nicotina, I do believe is the way you pronounce it. So the difference between the blonde leaf and the dark leaf is where that leaf is placed on the plant. So typically what happens is the top leaves are shading the bottom leaves. And what happens is the top leaves get more sun and the bottom leaves get less. So you'll see the plant almost tan in some way, naturally tanned by the sun. So when they pick it, it'll be a darker green on top and a lighter green on bottom. And when they dry age and they cure these things, they automatically kind of pick up the level of photosynthesis of what that plant received while it was growing.
Yeah, it's the same concept that you see with jalapenos or grapes or whatnot. The thing is, the amount of sun exposure that you get directly affects the quality or even the experience of what you're enjoying.
Now, here's a question that I'm not educated enough to answer, but maybe you guys are. One thing I know is like plants grow. I don't know how they grow, whether it's from the base or they grow outwards, but does the nicotine content being more prevalent in the tips of the tobacco, or maybe it isn't, does that have anything to do with the amount of nutrition being provided to the edge of the leaf? That's just a question I've always wanted the answer to and can't source it. And maybe you guys can help.
Well, I'm no scientist, but I know that the stems, what we would call stems or the veins of the leaf, really provide, they have the highest nicotine content. So those nutrients are being spread out along that leaf. So think of the stem and the veins that run out as like a central nervous system, and the very edges are getting the same amount of nutrients as the interior. So when you look at a tobacco plant while it's growing, those veins closer towards the inside will be bigger, and the veins towards the edge of the leaf those veins will be smaller.
Right.
We still talking about tobacco here? We still talking about tobacco?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not me.
All right. Go ahead, do you think?
Modelo drinking ass.
We thought we had something interesting to say, Chris.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him with that beer. It's like
I don't know if there's much more interesting. I don't think if anything's more interesting than Chris right now. So
Mustache is on 100 right now.
I'm here for that.
Yeah. Well, on to the beer. So, or on back to the beer, rather. So, how often do you guys catch yourselves having a beer while you smoke hookah?
Every night.
Okay.
Whenever we're hanging with the boys.
Yeah, me and the boys eating beans, drinking beers.
Oh, them are fighting words. How about you, David?
I'd say about the same. I mean, it kind of depends on the grind I'm doing that night, whether or not we're gaming or whether or not I'm doing other things. I try to say more often than not, there's some kind of alcohol in my system.
Austin Coulter from the chat says increased nitrogen causes plants to grow taller.
Hey, hydroponics, let's go.
Yeah.
That's actually something I've really wanted to see out of this industry is someone come along with a small patch production of hydroponic shisha, where it's basically they try and maximize the ultimate cultivation of what that tobacco is capable of.
Well, Austin is drinking some Arizona-style beer. It's called Citrazona, which I would say that it's like...
That's out of Tucson. Let's go.
It's saying to me that might have a little bit of citrus hops in it. Be nice.
So that is from Barrio Brewing, actually located in Tucson. It's on Grande and St. Mary's. There we go. And Citrazona is kind of a citrus-style IPA. I think it's about 6%. Barrio is actually one of the largest distributors out of Tucson right now, second to Dragoon Brewing. So definitely glad that he's got his hands on that. I'd say Barrio is probably one of the oldest breweries in Tucson, too. We're sitting probably around 20, maybe even 25 years for them. And they actually started the brewery because they were successful in the restaurant game. And they noticed that their cost was getting a little bit high for all these other draft beers that they're seeing. So they have a lot of wide availability. They have a really nice raspberry, it's not even a sour, more of a raspberry fruit beer that they've named after their daughter, I believe. And that's actually probably one of my top fives if I'm trying to just not think about my beer and just be kind of a white girl for the evening.
The daughter's name Raspberry?
I'll razzle your berry.
Hey, sound like a stripper.
Hey.
Where am I?
You're in the beer garden. You're in the beer garden all day,
You are
all night.
Actually, I think this is the season 3 finale of AM Hookah Podcast.
Drink.
Let's not do that again.
Everyone got to get their beer and drink. I said so.
And this is just beer. After what happened that night, I can drink the whole 6-pack. Be fucking fine, boys.
Yeah.
All right, Bet, do it.
I'm not going to.
On that note, Junior has a question. Are we allowed to answer questions?
Yep. Go.
All right. The question is, what temperature temperature you guys like your beer? I tend to enjoy it more when it's super ice cold. Ice cold, baby. Ice cold all day.
Depends on the beer, probably, because like I drink shitty college beer, and that's got to be ice cold. But like this,
Natty
could
Ice
probably be a little warmer.
Natty Ice is the ultimate beer pong drinking. I know.
I don't know.
World champion of beer
Adrian's
pong.
part of the world, I think it's Rolling Rock, isn't it?
Rolling Rock is the Natty Ice of Michigan. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's
Good job. You nailed it pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, Rolling Rock is actually one of the more delicious, mainstream beers that I'll drink over Bud Light any day.
Just don't tell
the
Frank.
beers.
Typically when I look at temperatures, I look at what style of beer I'm drinking. And when I talk about that and when I say that is when I'm drinking like an IPA or a funky style super funk sour or a ghost or a farmhouse ale or a lager, I'm typically, wanting those things fairly cold. I think it was Mythbusters who came out and said, the perfect temperature for beer is 33 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I did a little myth busting myself behind me, which I'll show you guys here in a little bit. I used one of their methods almost into some sense. But when I'm drinking like a darker beer, I like to bring the temperature up a little bit so I can get that super malty flavor. I don't know if you agree with me or disagree with me, David and Adrian, but darker beers tend to drink better when they're just slightly warmer.
Yeah, I mean it's if you go into any part of the world aside from the U.S., you have cask beers, and cask beers are served at room temperature. If you go to Ireland or you go to England, you're going to get a warm beer. And the thing is, a lot of that is kind of the same concept that you see with hookah, right? Is that if you put ice in the base, you're probably not going to get as much flavor. If you do anything that affects that base quality of the shisha, you're going to affect the flavor. Now that's throwing things out of the ballpark aside from the supernova, which adds a chill, but ice and cold in general tends to cut away from your palate because it actually affects the nervous system on your tongue. Mm-hmm. When I'm drinking beer in general, I kind of go for the idea that it starts cold, and then normally I have enough time for it to warm up enough to change that flavor. It's like we're not chugging these beers. I'm not drinking some Bud Light. I'm not drinking Natty Light. I'm not drinking anything. I'm not even drinking Pabst, man.
So you're going for the transmorphative flavor profile.
Oh yeah, it's a different quality of beer as you're drinking it. So I think that honestly, as long as you're comfortable drinking the beer, you're probably safe.
Well, with my sours, I like to start them cold and let that warm and that funk and my palate warm up to those.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you drink a semi-lukewarm sour, right off the bat, your tongue's going to shrivel and die.
I wouldn't say that, but thanks.
I'm used to really funky sours. Adrian, do you like sours? Have you ever had a sour? What are your thoughts on
I assume
sour?
we're talking about beer right now.
Correct.
I do like the more extreme flavor profiles in the world when you just talk about consuming things orally. I was gonna say, you got anything for that?
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Are you having a seizure, Chris?
But, however, I don't have a whole lot of sour beers. I do enjoy tart, bitter, sour foods, hookah flavors, but I haven't found myself gravitating towards that style of beer, and I'm not sure why.
I'd say, we're going to see you at the frat house, right? I'll bring some sours over. Jeremy and I were actually talking about it a couple days ago, about maybe getting together and spending a little bit of time and testing out some different beers between, a small group of friends. Adrian, we definitely welcome you.
Yes. We're going to get a Swifty.
Am I invited?
Oh, come on. The host with the most, Dr.
Wait, does Dr. Misrespect needs an invite?
I thought he'd just come in and Dr.
Yeah.
Misrespect it all.
Speaking of, you know who could be watching this right now? Matt doesn't. I just saw my Steam notification said he's playing Forager instead, so just let that be known.
He
Oh,
said
really? Because he said he was at a wedding.
He said he's going to a wedding.
He might be. Hey, one of his kids could be playing it. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
All right, so we got a little bit of chat commentary we can go over. I think Junior had another question about whether or not warmer beer gives you more of a buzz. And Austin kind of put that conversation a bit more into whether or not it's German or Irish. So what do you guys think?
Warmer beer doesn't give you more of a buzz, but it makes you throw up faster.
well, I will tell you that, drinking warm beer in the warm sun will make you start to sweat. And typically what you're sweating is going to be little alcohol content and more water. So you're going to become dehydrated. Therefore, it's going to feel like you are getting a bigger buzz because your water content in your body goes down, and you're going to start sweating that water out, and you're going to get super drunk super quick.
And that's the hack. Deprive yourself of nutrients, and you can become more inebriated over time.
Hashtag life goals.
Yes.
Pretty sure we all start at a base sober rate.
Now, I got a question. Can we talk about that lovely pipe that David Harris has on the screen there?
This guy?
Yeah, that guy right there.
What's lovely about it? There's a better one right there. Look at Jeremy.
I don't know, man. I like that pipe. That pipe's nice. We'll check that out.
So I've actually been working on this guy, and we'll go over Jeremy's as well because Jeremy got the first production release.
The old backwards hugs to get increased product. Yeah, okay.
Backwards hugs. Okay, I like that. So I'm calling it the twirl for now. It's the mid piece is actually printed out of a new color that I've picked up. Been testing with it. It's kind of a nuisance, but I'll get there. And we've actually made some updates to the heart for the hookah since Jeremy's release. If you can tell on Jeremy still has a grommet and a base plug-in for his bowl or for his handle. And I actually removed that after talking to Jeremy about getting some critiques, and we're going for a direct fitting now. So you don't actually have to worry about that grommet, just because grommet sizing can be a pain in the ass. I know very well after the 15 to 20 hookahs that I've been printing. You're going to see pipes like this available actually at the frat house. I'm going to have about 6 on display. A couple of the guys might have some as well, so definitely check them out. They're sitting about 21 inches tall, including stem. Match really nicely with whatever color palette really want. I think I have about 10 colors available. And yeah, I mean, it's the 3D printing process, so it's additive manufacturing. We start with nothing and we build up to basically this. This pipe breaks down into 5 different pieces, and there's actually Jeremy's request was for me to introduce a new piece, and this is called the stub cap. And it allows you to basically smoke without the mid piece at all if you want, and it turns it into a vertical purge. So really cool. 5 purge system to it that we actually have a modified traditional heart is what we're calling it, where it has an inset purge balls to actually reach all the way to about this point here. I can drop them lower, but honestly, when you're 3D printing, the strength and rigidity doesn't change if I throw a lot of material in or if I put a little bit less in. So overall, we're looking at a very high impact resistant quality product. Now, Jeremy, you and I have talked earlier about the fact that points of failure can happen. So this was me actually about 4 a.m. This print failed, and I had to struggle to wake back up and get another print started last night. Finished in time for the show. But just kind of the concept of what people can see is like, I can rip on this, I can flex on it. It's not going to break. You're not going to have those issues. There's also other concepts too that you see is these are lightweight. Jeremy, you can vouch for that. This whole hookah without the stem probably weighs less than an average bowl.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think it would be great for travel because, you get in an airplane and what's the first thing they do? They weigh your baggage. So you could put a stem, a base, who knows what might come out in the future as far as, travel bases can go. But, I think the cool thing about it is it's somebody from our community that's trying to do something cool for you. Not just, a standard color or this or that. Everybody's trying to do, something really, really cool. And I think we're seeing more of those makers. And it's almost like a startup in some case where you got like this gigantic maker space, but instead we're spread out across the country. We get on hangs and we talk design all the time, David. Mm-hmm. And, I'm going to do a shameless plug here and say, head on over to Etsy, find David's shop, Spire Hookah. You can search for the shop name. And, he's doing mouth tips right now. you know,
I have
Without-
10 left.
without the support of a group of people, none of this would be possible. David, I want to support you fully, and you know this. You have become a great friend through the beer garden, and I want to see nothing but love come your way. And the coolness that is the creativity of the community.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I mean, it's one of the things I've actually was sappy for a moment the other day in saying that, well, essentially, I actually think that this last year has been phenomenal for me because I've had a lot of motivation from the community. I've also had a lot of input that's kind of made me strive towards what I want to do. And I know, Adrian, you haven't had the opportunity to be hands-on with these pipes yet. I know you and
Not
Matt are going to eventually, and I don't know when season 4 kicks off, but definitely
Oh
something.
god, it's like 3 weeks now. No, two from Monday. So
We will sit and I will try and talk to you guys about doing my best to have some kind of my product in your hands to review.
yeah, we'd love to. I think we'd love to have you on. Like if we're gonna do that, let's talk because that would be
Okay.
That'd be a fun episode. We could have some beers.
I'm down. That being said, we did have a couple other comments before we go into a little more detail. Aside from someone saying "take off your pants and panties,"
I'm not wearing anything, but this camera only catches the top half. Nothing.
And that's perfectly okay because we can't see it.
Well, really
it's Michigan,
quickly,
it's
No.
Michigan weather. You're
Before-
fine.
I have a
Before we get
second
off-
webcam down there for Chris.
before we
Yeah.
get off the topic, I want to really quickly look at your Instagram and show people more of a little bit what is Spire Hookah. So if you get a chance, really quick, we're gonna click on over.
Oh god,
Mosey on
this is
over.
embarrassing. Now I need to
Plug,
double check my
plug,
Instagram
plug,
for safety.
plug.
So you have a cool picture here. It looks like a honeycomb.
Yeah, that guy's the Hive. So that mid piece, I actually have one here. The Hive is inspired actually by Paul C. Lau. I think I'm pronouncing that. If I'm wrong, bud, you can destroy me in whatever game
You
you,
mean
want
Eddie,
to.
right?
Yeah, Eddie. There we go.
Got it. Cool.
And it's a honeycomb pattern that I actually had to completely relearn what I was trying to do in the CAD programs to really accomplish this. One piece, mid piece, super rigid in strength with a honeycomb pattern that kind of tapers in and out throughout the entire thing. This is one color. This is the yellow. I also have a blue down here. Let me actually reach for another one that hasn't been really posted or talked about. And this mid piece is super sharp, so if anyone ever picks it up, be careful. This is called the Villain.
Also
And one
known
of
as the ouchie ouchie.
Yeah, right. Or the stabby is what a lot of people are calling it.
See, that's exactly what I'm in the market for right there. I need some aggressive stems.
And
that
it's
is an aggressive stem.
It's kind of the funny thing to the idea for this one was that a year ago after the expo, we managed to design something in a CAD file with my partner Kurt, and we were going over it, and I was like, "Oh, stop! That looks dope," and then it didn't work, and I was like, "All right, well, we're gonna revisit that," and I managed to revisit this in time. These mid pieces, on average, just so people are aware, vary from anywhere from 7.5 inches to 8 inches. So there's a 1/2-inch variability.
So short scale then.
Yeah.
Short scale.
So I mean, the thing is, it's going to be replaceable on the pieces that you do. So if you buy a pipe right and you want to buy a secondary mid piece, I know that's kind of the idea that a lot of people have, where they're like, oh, replaceable shafts and whatnot. That's something I've had in mind for years. It's something.
Yeah, don't say
I
shaft.
got
Don't
a
say
question.
shaft.
Chris
if I-
can't handle it.
If I was someone and I didn't know about 3D printed stuff, but I wanted to get my hands on these lovely little mouthpieces you got going on, what's that website I can go to again and check them out? Whatever's available.
I believe it's Etsy, and you're going to look for Spire Hookah. I'm not really into one for plugging right now, so I'm kind of in an awkward point of view. So if anyone wants to kind of fill in these gaps, I will gladly accept it.
I
I'll
will
do
fill
it.
in the gap.
Hold on. I'll do it. Hold on.
Spire hookahs.
Yeah.
Buy them.
All right. I got this. Hold on.
Is this still your wait? Before you say anything, is this still your first Modelo?
No, it's my second one. I got a whole case.
Okay.
Baby,
All right.
a whole case.
All right. We good.
All right. Fucking buy them. Yeah,
There you
I
go.
nailed it. Fuck.
There you
So go back and check it out. There you go.
go.
Y'all ever heard of Spire hookahs? Fucking buy them. Every time, baby.
One of the fun things to it is that, a lot of the times, Jeremy, you and I have sat down, we've had inputs from other people too, to kind of like get the idea of what enthusiasts would like. And I'd say more often than not, this is going to be catered more to the enthusiasts. I do have to kind of say one disclosure: whatever you do, be wary of coals. I mean, honestly, it's still working a plastic. You're still putting something that's 500 degrees. This prints at 500 degrees Fahrenheit but it's not worth you to take that risk. I've done coal tests on these, and they've taken the heat well, but a 1/4-inch tray is your best friend.
Well, I mean, I got my Prometheus tray sitting here because that's what fits it right now. And I'd be an idiot if I set a coal right here. Just saying. The bowl sits on here nicely, insulated by silicone. So you got some heat insulation there. But don't be an idiot and put your coal right here. It doesn't need to go right here. It can go right here, right here, right here, right here. It can also go over here, here, or there. So, with that said, don't put the damn thing in the dishwasher, okay?
Well, I haven't tested dishwasher safe yet, but I don't want to either. So let's just
You don't
keep that.
need to. You got a fucking sink. Every house in America has a sink. Why does it need to go in a dishwasher?
Put you in the dishwasher.
Put your mom in a dishwasher.
Couple other things.
That's what I put in my dishwasher.
Dishes.
After every use.
Dildos.
Close.
That was a Reddit thing. I don't know if you know that, but that was a Reddit thing. That's not a joke, Chris.
Dildos in the dishwasher. 2019. Let's get it going.
We do have Mr. Partridge in the chat too right now. And Travis Green actually asked a question as well, whether or not I can print a new centerpiece to swap out the one for his
I
Matt
was
Pierre.
thinking that. I didn't want to say it because I'm like, we're not here to talk about Matt Pear.
You can say whatever
But,
you want on this show. You can say whatever you want.
Here's how I'll describe it. I can do it, but I don't want to get sued.
That's fair. However, asterisks. What if you did it though?
Yeah, but you're not using their design. You're coming up with your own design, and it's an accessory for your already purchased Matt Pear.
Yeah, there's commercial rights that you kind of have to wonder about with that. The thing is, technically, if they have their it's important. There's patent laws that have to be avoided, so I have to
Check it out though. Check it out.
You just gotta
Print it and market it as an oversized straw for drinking beverages. Functionally, that's kind of what it looks like. Just as you know what this looks like when I take it off? It's just a tube, dog. Just market it different. You'll be fine. Sell it. Buy
It's
it.
a smoke tube, bruh.
Spire Hookahs buy it every time, baby. Market. It's weird. Just say it's for like marijuana.
Whoa,
the way we are going, that's
whoa,
gonna
whoa.
Hey!
Drink.
I'm in Michigan.
Trigger
That's totally
words,
fine
trigger
here.
words.
Drink. You gotta drink now. You gotta drink now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's forego past this. I've had a long enough time talking about this. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Well,
Chris's mustache, mostly.
yeah, I mean,
Wait, what is that caterpillar? I have to search this now.
I don't know. Popular
I'm just-
names: Lucille, Happy, whatever your mom likes.
I think it
Hey.
needs a strong name like Jack.
no, I think this is almost perfect, and it's not just because Austin is my friend, but it was really Jasmine that said it. We should name it Gary.
I like Gary. I like
It
Gary.
makes me think of SpongeBob though, which is even better.
Meow.
Chris looks like sweet, sweet victory.
Ooh, Kurt just called out your mustache. What you gonna do? Dr. Misrespect, speak up.
Oh, Kurt got jokes, huh? Okay.
That mustache just be people who like talk about mustaches as being like people who have like facial hair things like I can grow a full beard or my mustache is sweet. Like, take a second to reassess your fucking goals.
Well,
No. I'm sorry. I wasn't allowed a beard for a year. This thing is growing out the way I need it to.
Wait.
Look, my facial hair is fucked. It grows in all white trashy.
Hold on.
Why
Wait a
is it?
second. This is just a mustache. This is
The caterpillar.
This is
You
a
can go play with
sexy
your handlebars later,
accessory,
okay?
Okay. You want to know how I got this mustache? You want to know?
Yeah,
The people want to
sure.
know?
let's hear it. Let's hear
Alright.
it.
Well, like I do, sometimes I
I want
want
to know how I got these scars.
the next new dark leaf. I was running butt naked through the Serengeti, right? Looking for that dark leaf. Looking for the next big tobacco. And I was like, damn. And I was about 5 days in. 5 days in, and I was like, I haven't sat down. I haven't sat down not once. And I was like, you know what? Let me sit down. And I looked up. And something just dropped off the tree onto my face. And this mustache, this sexy caterpillar, this Gary, this Lucille, has been with me ever since. True
All
story.
right. Well, because of your story, I now came up with another name. We're gonna call it the Dirty Sanchez.
That's a maneuver. That's
Dope.
not a mustache name.
Dr. Joe Dirt. Now that'd be more.
I should just shave all this right now.
You should just have mutton chops, Adrian. You need mutton chops.
I used to, because that's one of the pieces in my face that actually grows in.
Mutton chops will look fucking sweet.
Just what up, baby?
Well, welcome to the beard garden, where we talk about hookahs, beer, and beards.
Yeah, I take it back. Facial hair is like the best thing ever. Sorry, Travis Green.
Well, when you talk about beer, you talk about fucking facial hair. I mean, come on. Go to any craft brewery. You're going to find beer.
Listen, the mustache revolution is alive and well. I want to see your biggest, bushiest, strongest mustache out in Vegas.
I want to be Austin. I want to be Austin because he has this mustache curl that's badass.
Oh, getting the twirl takes time, though. You got to have that little bit more length.
That's a lot of dedication there.
Look at it. If he shaves the sides, he'll be freaking a white Jabbar.
What up, baby? How we doing? Yes.
Just remember.
What the fuck is Jeremy doing?
just remember.
That's a shocker for me, bro.
Just remember, you can face the 2-time Hookah University champion in Vegas.
All right. Well, let's reframe for a second. It's got a little bit of order to this chaos. We have another question from Daniel Partridge. Hope to see you, by the way, but I'm sure I'll be seeing you during the expo. And it's a question for Jeremy and Chris. And it's probably more on the logistics side. Are you set for the pipes, macaroni and cheese, and coleslaw?
Fuck yeah, baby boy!
The chef with the most.
The chef with the host with the most, the doctor, the dude.
I'm ready. He also needs some volunteers. Men, women, whatever you are, to dress up in your sexiest layer outfit and just stand next to him while he's next to the oven. Because it's going to get hot in here.
So, we got beer, we got hookah, we got Freddie Mercury with a wig. Adrian, beer, hookah, good. Don't make it complicated, right? So, we got
complicated things is silly.
David, we got Adrian, we got Chris. You are going to HEW number 3. We have that coming up here pretty soon. Well, we're approaching probably the 55-minute mark. I don't want to bore you guys even more, but I will be in the hangs after this to talk more about beer or hookah or life or Adrian's beautiful smile. You guys are all welcome to join. David, do you have any kind of closing arguments per se? Because
I'll throw out a challenge if that's all good.
Oh right, let's do it.
So you're naked right now. You just have to say it,
dude. You're one step ahead of us. You got nothing underneath. We know. All right, we're gonna get Moise in here and see who can get naked faster. Okay. No, side note to it. All right. So one of the things we've been talking about between us is adding a little bit more structure to the beer garden. So I want all of the commenters, all of the people viewing, anyone who comes up with questions, give us a topic for next time, okay? We're going to work with that, derive a little bit more, kind of have a focal point going into the future. And then a secondary challenge actually just goes out to Daniel Partridge. I hope you're ready for the hookah battle, my friend.
Ooh.
It's going to happen.
Do you have pieces? Do you have parts?
I'm taking...
No, absolutely not. That's a goddamn negative on my part.
I'm taking that win. I'm gonna go.
There's
a
human in the frame right now, David.
Oh, I know, and she's being a creep. We'll just fix that. Got it. Nope.
Well, guys, thank you guys for joining the beer garden. Not a whole lot of work goes into this. We typically just get on camera, get drunk, have a great time, do the beer garden. Try and answer as many questions as possible that you guys have. And something goes back to Jimmy Sarver. He asked if I ever had Blind Pig or Pliny the Elder, and yes, I have. And fuck, they're delicious. Hope to have some at the frat house, what we're working on right now. And, just kind of give us your ideas and thoughts for Beer Garden because we really want to know what's going on. HEW is basically 5 weeks-ish away.
40 days? 40 days?
40-something days.
It's coming up.
Going out. A lot of us are getting a big-ass fucking house together. A lot of us are going to be fucking drinking like crazy. And a lot of us are going to be having a crazy fucking party on Saturday night. So, with that said, I hope to see you all there. We got David with closing thoughts, Adrian with closing thoughts, Dr. Disrespect or Dr. Noob Sauce, Freddie Mercury, the host with the most. Happy the Trash Panda is probably sitting somewhere in a cabinet behind you. where we're probably gonna, maybe like get you to go to sleep. We can put you in that cabinet, maybe bring Happy back and take that fake mustache off. But with that said,
Hey,
David,
don't talk about Gary that way.
Hey,
Oh.
hey, I want to know. I want to know what person they like the most hosting the show. I want to know if they like me, Doc, or like, Happy, or you want regular old bullshit Dr. Noob Sauce back.
All
You
right,
gotta let
actually,
me know.
one more challenge just to fuck with Chris.
One more
thing.
question. One more question. Travis Green says, "Does the price of beer make them better?" And I will say, "Fuck no," to that question. And I will have another drink of my $14 4-pack.
All right, so I'm going to say one more thing. If this
$12 6-pack.
live gets 50 likes in total, right? We know we can do it, HU. All right. Chris has to wear the wig throughout the entire expo.
You act like that's
Hold
a
on,
challenge,
did
baby.
Chris commit
I wear
to
this
that?
thing when I go to sleep.
No,
I was born with
it's
it.
involuntary. It's involuntary.
Yo, here's what I'm thinking, because there's 3 of us and 1 of him, right? So we hold Chris down and super glue that shit to his fucking head.
I'm gonna like this post. Just give it one more.
Look at that. We're already at 19, maybe 20.
Wait. Do people want to see me do interviews like this? This would be amazing.
You
Well,
Guys,
interview
remember,
me all
there's
day.
also autographs from Dr. Misrespect, and you can also get an autograph from Gary.
Yep. Gary,
Don't worry
autograph
about the
person.
logistics of Gary's autograph.
It's just going to be a mustache headbutt.
We're gonna dip his face in ink.
We're gonna
right.
physically abuse
This
Chris.
is horrible. This is not what I signed up for. This is profiling because I'm too goddamn sexy here. These motherfuckers are just jealous. I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it.
Adrian, any closing thoughts while you're looking at that mustache?
It's hard. The mustache is definitely a distraction.
Adrian, you're gonna like it if I come on your show and bring the
All of-
sexiness.
Chris, I want you on my show as often as possible. I think your guest spot is like caused the most growth. Everyone wants to see you like scream about shit.
I'll scream. I'll curse. I'll make it sexy. I'll make it delicious. I'll make it tasty. Whatever you want, bro.
All right, Dr. Misrespect and Gary, AM Hookah Podcast Season 4. We're going to make that happen, whether he wants to or not. Closing thoughts. In this niche community that is the hookah enthusiast, and in this even more niche community that is hookah enthusiasts who want to watch people talk about beer, or people that want to talk about beer while smoking hookah. It's really cool that we've got these communities that just want to produce content, not for some mass group of people for the purposes of monetization, but literally just to talk about shit they want to talk about, so you can sit down and watch people talk about shit you want to listen to people talk about. So I just wanted to say I think it's really cool that this stuff's happening. I wanted to thank you guys for letting me come on to this, because I haven't done the podcast in 2 weeks. I'm starting
You getting
fucking
itchy about it?
itching,
Yeah,
getting
look at
fucking
that.
itchy, bro.
It's not the
So-
beard itch either.
It's not. No, I keep this shit conditioned. You couldn't tell by looking at it. It's a mess, but
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap it right here. Thank you all again. Last comments from Jeremy?
If you're not fucking of legal smoking age, get the fuck out of the hookah groups. Get the fuck off of our YouTubes. Stay away until you're of legal smoking age.
shouldn't you be fucking studying, son?
Alrighty then. Well, till next time.
See you guys.
Bye.
You thought it was over. They thought it was. They all thought it was over. It's never over. It's not over until I let it be over. I'm gonna keep going for days, and you guys will have to watch. I'll just sit here like, I'll just be here. I'll just like this.
I miss Happy.
They can't go anywhere. You think they're free? They're my hostages. All right, let's stop. Let's stop. Oh, it's a lie! I'm back. I'm never going away. I'm staying here forever. You gotta deal with me, okay? You don't like it? It's tough shit. I'll just keep rambling. I can talk for days. You don't think I have anything to talk about? Let's talk about this. This comb. You know what it's used for? It's an accessory for being sexy. That's how it works. Oh, bet you didn't know that. You just learned something. Stuck around to the end. I'm like a post-credits scene from Marvel movie. You never know where I'm gonna pop up. The beginning, the middle, the end. It doesn't matter. You're happy you stuck around, didn't you? All right, all right. I'll go away. For now. Oh, it's a lie! It's a lie! I was never going away. I'm gonna be here forever. I'm gonna be here forever. You gotta deal with it. Ha! Ha! Okay. You have to watch me for 2 minutes eating Cheez-Its. Like that?
God damn it!
Amazing.
All right, you know what? Just for that, we're dropping the like rating to 40.
Yeah.
If this video gets 2 likes,
All right. We're done. We're done.
Live from Hookah University, it's the Beer Garden.
It's a lie! You thought it was over! I put the intro! I faked you all out! Ha! Ha! Never! It's never done! It's not
I
over
want so much,
until I say it's over!
so much for structure.
get that fucking mustache out of here.
Gary's being abused.
Justice for Gary.
Hashtag me.